The aim of managing projects through people is to demonstrate the importance of managing people for the success of a project. At the end of this unit, you should be able to do the following points displayed below. The importance of budget, time, and quality to the success of projects means that they are often managed as technical systems rather than behavioral systems. This is because the successful implementation of any kind of project requires the effective deployment of human as well as material resources. Indeed, without people, no project could exist in the first place. People may be important to the success of a project as project managers in charge of a project, members of a project team responsible for implementing a project, internal or external customers for whom the project is being conducted, that is, end users, company sponsors of a project, for example, senior management, stakeholders who may be affected by a project's outcome, external suppliers of goods and services on which the project's implementation depends. In order to meet hard criteria for a project's success, the contributions and responses to the project made by these individuals or groups are crucial. Managing these contributions and responses, as well as the relationships between parties with an interest in the project, needs to be planned. For this reason, it is often argued that managing people is the most important aspect of project management. Managing people in a particular project will depend on its scope, the phase of the project, and the nature of the project. The impact of human resources on a project are likely to be greatest when it is large-scale and loosely structured, involving large numbers of people whose roles and relationships with regard to the project may not always be easy to determine or manage. The chance of success in projects is increased by paying more attention to issues such as relationship management, communication, influencing, and politics. This means that individuals involved in managing projects will have to use a wide range of people management roles and skills in order to achieve a satisfactory outcome. These will include leadership, motivation, negotiation, and facilitation of team working. The performance of the project manager is crucial to the success of any project, since he or she is the person responsible for ensuring that it reaches a successful conclusion. Although criteria for project success are likely to be expressed in terms of meeting deadlines, budgets, and standards, much of the project manager's work will involve achieving these benchmarks through people involved in the project. The key skills for project managers are technical, that is, the knowledge of the business sector in which the project is being conducted. There are 6 key activities of the project manager that have been identified below. Shaping goals. The project managers are responsible for setting or receiving overall objectives and directions, interpreting them, reacting to changes in them, and clarifying any problems which arise with regard to these objectives. Obtaining resources. The project managers identify the resources they needed for their project, negotiate for their release, retain them, and manage their effective use in the context of the project. Building roles and structures. The project managers clarify their own roles, those of members of their project team, and those of other relevant functions and individuals. Establishing good communications. The project managers link together the diverse groups and individuals contributing to the project in order to obtain their support and commitment. seeing the whole picture. The project managers took a holistic view of the project as a whole, managing time and other resources, anticipating reactions from stakeholders, identifying links with other relevant activities, and spotting unexpected events. Moving things forward. The project managers took action and risks to keep the project going, especially through difficult phases. These activities are largely concerned with influencing others in order to get them to work in a particular way. On the next section, you will have a better idea of the role of the project manager in carrying out these activities. In order to carry out the activities which their job requires, a project manager must perform a number of roles, including leadership. A project manager needs to be able to communicate vision of the project outcome and gain support for it from stakeholders within the project team and outside it. Motivation. A project manager needs to be able to motivate individuals involved in the project, in particular the project team, to make the contribution required of them for the project to be completed successfully. Using expectancy theory, members of the project team will work well when they expect their efforts to produce good performance. They expect rewards for good performance, and they value these rewards. Rewards may be more difficult to achieve since performance and rewards are often controlled by line managers who may not be directly involved in the project process or outcome. Team building. The project team needs to have the right mix of skills to complete the project task, and the project manager needs to manage this. He or she must also facilitate their productive cooperation. This is likely to involve the use of techniques to maximize participation and empowerment. The ability to handle conflict will be an important part of the project manager's team-building role. Communication. The project manager must enable the flow of relevant information about the project to interested parties at various stages of a project. He or she must win support for the project and secure resources for it. He or she must keep the organization and any external clients committed to the project. Communicating relevant information to and from the project team helps to maintain their motivation. Effective communication is an essential skill for the project manager. Achieving understanding can be difficult, especially in the atmosphere of change and uncertainty generated by a major project. The following barriers to good communication have been identified. Noise. Anything that distorts the message being transmitted, such as other conflicting messages, can interfere with its meaning. There should be a shared understanding of a project's actual objectives in order to clarify what people think it should achieve. Selective and biased perceptions. People tend to listen to what they want to listen to and read what they want to read into a message. Again, ensuring clarity of a project's objectives and the achievement of project milestones once they are reached will help to counteract subversive accounts of its progress. Conflict. Conflict can act as a wall between individuals or groups, preventing communication between them. The most obvious situation for this to occur in a project is between different functional groups who may have different agendas regarding the outcome and development of the project. Language and tone. The intended meaning of a message can easily be missed by someone whose background is different from the sender's. This is likely to be an issue in a project when those responsible for it have specialist skills not shared by the project's clients or end users. Lack of feedback. Receiving and listening to feedback, as well as imparting messages, is essential for effective communication. It is as important to seek feedback from interested parties throughout a project's lifetime as it is to secure clarity about its objectives at the outset. Without appropriate feedback, it is easy for a project to drift off course. For every project, there will be a range of individuals or groups who have an interest in the different stages of the project. It could be the end users of an IT system, the line managers who will be expected to lead a restructuring initiative throughout the organization, or the marketing department which will promote a new product. The support of these stakeholders is essential if the project is to succeed. Therefore, a key responsibility of the project manager will be to identify these stakeholders at an early stage of the project, anticipate their responses to it, and gain and maintain their support. Their involvement can be important to the project's success or failure. Some projects, especially large-scale ones, will rely on a team, not just an individual, for their successful implementation. Unlike permanent work teams, a project team's objective is the achievement of a finite and specific task, that is, the project. Its performance, especially its ability to perform effectively as a group, is therefore critical to a project's outcome. For project teams to perform well, certain circumstances need to exist. Members must feel personally involved in the project. Members believe that they are serving the interests of those whom they represent, who will benefit from the project outcome. A readiness to accept new ideas. A certain autonomy for project teams to determine their own goals and their approaches to achieving them if they are to work effectively. Not surprisingly, the ability of the project manager to expedite effective project team working is crucial